Hey, hey. All right. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope everybody is doing great. Whew. So what we got to talk about today, but first let me make sure you guys can hear me. If somebody can just let me know, hey, Miss Gemini, how you doing? I just want to thank y'all for being here today. I wanted to talk about the IRS tonight. I wanted to clear up some of these questions that y'all are going to be having about the upcoming tax season. Okay, so if y'all not paying attention to what's going on around you, it's a lot of talk going on. Okay, if y'all did not, first, did anybody, can you hear me? I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Hey, Nicola, how you doing? Hey, okay, I'm glad. All right, so y'all can hear me because y'all responded. Okay, so as always, please hit the share and the like and all that good stuff. Y'all know I'm gonna drop information for you guys, so you can go ahead and ask your questions that you already have. We could talk about the borrower's defense. If you guys, let me get on that really quick. If you guys do not know, so a lot of y'all, I talked to a lot of y'all outside of here. So thank y'all for those that hit me up on email. Some of y'all call me. Some of us we text. So thank y'all for reaching out, because I really do want to give y'all the best information. So a lot of you guys did send me pictures of an email that y'all got from Department of Education telling you that your loans were forgiven. If you got that email, I need you to call. I don't care if you got it from the borrower's defense or if they told you they gave it to you under the Joe Biden program. I need y'all to listen. I need you to call studentaid.gov. And the reason I'm telling you that is because some people have gotten their student loans deleted from their credit report, saying, and they got that email, then the loans were deleted, and then the loans came back. So I'm still waiting for somebody to follow up and tell me her situation. But for you guys, hey, Violet, if you got that email, you should call to make sure it's legit, okay? Because some people were given the email in error saying that their loans were forgiven, okay? Some of y'all have sent me the email, all right? So that's just first and foremost. Good question, Nicola. Let's get on to it with the IRS, because I know you're going to voice. It says if someone has an EIN number, can they file taxes using it? If you have an EIN number, you can file the EIN on your personal 1040 taxes, or you can file separate business taxes with that EIN. You cannot file a personal tax return with an EIN unless you are, and you won't even have an EIN, but if you are an individual who's a non-citizen, you will get an I-10. You can file a personal tax return with that, but only the Social Security and only the I-10, okay? So I did get an email. Okay, so Grow with Juicy, if you got an email, I'm just telling you to call and let them confirm that what you were sent was correct. Because one thing we know about the government is they slow. And I don't want them to wait and tell you 3 months from now that email was a mistake. Okay? So if you guys have not been on this page, please follow, share. I am going to give out some good information. We're finna get on this IRS thing in a minute. Okay, so let me tell y'all what the IRS put out. And the reason the IRS is putting these things out, because I'm telling y'all next tax season is going to be a shit show. They keep saying it subtly, but they're saying it in every single message that they send out, that you need to be sure that you include all, and they put it in all caps, okay? I was just on the website today. They put it in all caps, ALL. Make sure you include all your income, because they are going to check it, okay? Can they put a child on the I-10? If you are a resident alien and you want to and you are going to file and you use an I-10 and you have a child, I've never seen a child get an I-10. I've never seen it. And I'm a certifying official, and we issue I-10s. I haven't seen it, but if they're going to go on the tax form, they're going to have one. But most, well, you know what? They probably, no, let me take that back. An I-10 is only to report income to the IRS. Children don't have that, and parents don't qualify for earned income tax credit, so they're not going to issue an I-10 to a child, okay? Because they're not eligible for any of those credits that U.S. citizens get, okay? So you guys need to make sure, and I'm going to keep stressing this, to make sure you go to the IRS website and create your account. You're going to need to use that account from 2023 on, because if information is on that site, that 1099s that were sent that you didn't get, that you didn't put on your taxes, I mean, you already know you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay. You're going to owe them. You're going to get audited. Something going to happen. And I don't want any of that to happen to anybody. So since we don't want that to happen, I'm encouraging everybody to please check your IRS site. Okay, you can actually go on there right now tonight. Matter of fact, the IRS website closes at 9 o'clock. Okay, at 9 it's hard to access anything, but you could go on that website, create your account, and you will be able to see your taxes back at least 7 years. Okay, so you will be able to see what you filed and what was turned in on you. And when I open up some individuals' file, I see that there are a lot of income that they did not include. The IRS let that go, okay, but they're not going to let that go anymore. Okay, so now they're going to be looking. So they are putting, make sure you put all, okay. It says, I love that shade of lipstick. It looks fabulous. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Violet. It says, hello, my daughter received her check but hasn't spent it yet. What you think? If they sent you a check back from the school for your loans, I mean, spend it. Once they cut the check, they cut the check. I'm concerned about the individuals with the email. Now, what I will tell you, and I'm telling everybody this because this is something that they are not speaking about. And I think that they're doing it because, well, it's about Christmas time and they don't want people to get rattled. All right. But please do expect to receive a 1099-C. Okay. If they canceled that money. Now, get this, ma'am, C. Mickens. If they canceled that debt and issued you a check, you need to be concerned that they may turn around and send a 1099 and tell you that your daughter has to add that money as income. Okay, that's the stuff that I don't like, that they don't tell, because they expect you guys to go to your tax person or your accountant to get these questions answered. But a lot of folks don't have good tax preparers, and who can afford an accountant? Okay, so I'm letting you know, Miss Mickens, please, you can call if you want to, but I would not be surprised if you get a 1099 for your daughter, or your daughter gets a 1099 and she now has to add that money from that check as income. Okay, so please be aware, if you add that as income, that is more taxes you have to pay than what you were going to pay. Okay, so that means your refund could be lower. All right. Okay, it says, Nicola said it's for someone else. So no, for the I-10s can only be issued to the individual that is filing the taxes, not for any kids. It says, what about the truckers' new tax laws? Captain Hook, what tax laws changed personally for truckers? Now, the only thing I've seen them do a lot of talking about is the clean vehicle energy credit, and it was something else. So if you got something that I need to do some research on so that I can make a video, I absolutely would, but I have not heard anything specifically for truckers. Yeah, I haven't, and I was just on the website today. So I mean, I try to catch as much as I can, but I could have missed that. Please drop me an email if you know something and I don't, and it's shamikasaves@gmail. Okay. All right. It says company owner stated that we have to pay our own taxes, but didn't give a 1099. How do I file? That happens a lot, Miss Renee. Let me tell you, that happens a lot. First of all, how can you know what you were paid if they don't issue you a 1099? The IRS says, okay, and I will give you the publication, okay? If you are self-employed, right, okay, and you earn more than $400, which you did, okay, you are supposed to pay taxes on your money. So you do have to report your income. Now, your company, they're supposed to issue you the 1099 so that you can make sure you can track what they say they paid you. They're also going to send that 1099 to the IRS. So if you cannot get it from them, This is one of the reasons I want y'all to get that portal, because they have to issue a 1099, which is an information report to the IRS. So it will be uploaded in your file on the IRS website. Now, they should give it to you. The law says they have until January 31st to issue you a 1099. But I have seen people that their employers just won't do it. And I don't know why. If it helps you any, all you need to do is go and y'all, somebody type this down, and I'm gonna get to y'all questions in a minute. Mint, mint.com. I love mint.com because you can sync all of your bank accounts to it, and you can search for a transaction. So if you know your company is ABC company, once you link all your accounts, you can just type ABC and it'll show you every transaction that they have given you, or every transaction that's on your account. So if they won't tell you, you're gonna have to add up your own money and then file your taxes. Okay, now by you doing 1099, that tells me you're self-employed. So I am telling you to please make sure you have your expenses together, because taxes gonna hit hard. They're gonna hit hard, okay? Especially if you don't have any write-offs, all right? Hey, Sweet Kate. All right, it says, pay me by Zelle, but check to see on Sunbiz EIN and company name is inactive. Well, if the company's EIN and name is inactive, all that means is that they did not pay their registration to keep it up with the state. Some companies are not originated out of Florida. Maybe they're a foreign company and they're domestic in another state. So they could have just missed filing. That doesn't necessarily matter. What I will tell you is Zelle has stated, and this is for all y'all, Zelle has stated that they are not going to send 1099s to you, okay? But you need to still check the IRS website, because Zelle has to send an information report, 1099, to the IRS. So that will be in your record. So Zelle is saying, oh, we're not going to send it to you. That's great, but that doesn't mean that the IRS doesn't know that you got money. So again, they are saying specifically to make sure you include all your income. So they're telling you guys, please don't rush and file your taxes this year. Okay, now I know people are gonna be talking about these cash advances and come on in here and get this money and all of that, and that's great. But please do not go and file your taxes because you're trying to hit a lick real quick and make you some money, and only to find out you got other 1099s coming. And the only reason I'm making an issue about these 1099s is because almost every single one of us uses Cash App. Okay, almost every single one of us uses Cash App, and they say, and I'm saying these are the news, these are these companies, we don't know what's going to happen. Right now, they're saying they're going to send the 1099s out. But have you guys seen them say the difference in the account, a personal account or a business account? How many times have you even heard them mention that? They are not mentioning it for a reason. Okay, they don't leave out parts by mistake. They leave out parts because they don't want to answer the damn questions. Okay, because we know it's going to get messed up. Let me say this, and then I'm gonna move on to the rest of y'all questions. Some of you are going to get 1099s that are going to be incorrect. The IRS says if they are incorrect, the IRS has nothing to do with it. You need to get it corrected with the company. They need to reissue you a new 1099, but they also need to reissue it to the IRS. Why? Because if the IRS sees that you put in something that they don't have, then guess what happens? Red flag. Okay, so I am certain there are going to be some mistakes, because how do they know that you didn't reimburse somebody for going to lunch? They don't know that. Did anybody put it in the memo? They may not. I Cash App my friend all the time. I don't always put a memo of what it is. So how are they going to know? So that's the kind of stuff I need y'all to pay attention to. That's why I'm telling you, this is the time that you can go through before the year is out. We're in December. Go in your Cash App and pull up your bank reports. They'll tell you, it'll show you how much money you've made this year. Anybody that made over $600, that means $601, it is now being reported. So you need to make sure that the IRS is not going to be expecting you to pay more money than you were expecting to pay. Because at the end of the day, you will not win. And if you do win, it's going to take a long ass time to get there. Okay? All right. C. Mickens, college loan. Okay. So yes, ma'am. Please check. Please check to make sure that check is legit. And also, please tell your daughter to possibly expect to get a 1099, because I am almost certain that they are going to be issuing that, okay? One company didn't give me a 1099 from Favorite Delivery, stating I make $70,000 and I only make $14,600. See, that's my problem right there, Nana. That is what's scary. And I prepare taxes, and I'm very concerned that people are going to just take whatever they get from these 1099s and not argue a dime, especially from Cash App. Y'all can't even get Cash App on the phone when it's a mistake. So how are we even supposed to correct the 1099s when we can't even correct if we sent money to the wrong person? So I'm telling y'all, this upcoming tax season, just be prepared, okay? It's going to be crazy. So this is why I am trying to tell you what to do now, so that you do not have to be one of the people that's going to get caught out there, because there's going to be some people that's going to be caught out there, okay? It says, I have not filed in the last 5 years because someone stole my identity and received $9,900 help. Well, if you have not filed in the last 5 years, then let me tell you, the reason I want all of y'all to know why you should file is because you need to make sure that you are in agreement with what the IRS is saying. If you don't file taxes, guess what? You also aren't making sure that you are receiving your points for Social Security. You get 4 points a year, guys. And the way you do that is by paying taxes and working, okay? So yes, filing taxes helps you get your refund. But I like to also file taxes because you should make sure that what the IRS has on you is what matches what you have on you, because it affects your money. Now, it may not affect your money right now, but if some of y'all are 40s, y'all in y'all 30s, y'all plan on retiring one day. And if you want to make sure you have your money and it is correct, filing taxes is a very important way to do that. So I hate when I hear people say they don't or have not filed taxes. So first of all, we need to file your taxes. Second of all, if you have had your identity stolen, there is an identity theft pin you can get, an IP pin that the IRS allows you to get. It is free. They are, I believe, soon going to make everybody use this pin because there's so much fraud going on. The IRS cannot tell one person from the next, but if they have a PIN, that's how the IRS will know it's you. So if you haven't filed taxes, go and create your free IP. I is in the letter I, like I, and P is in Paul. IP PIN is free. Sign up for it. The IRS will send you a letter in the mail every single year with a different 6-digit code, and that code is what you would put in, or your tax preparer would put in the system to submit your taxes securely. So please, and if you need any help, I'm your girl, okay? But please do not wait to not file your taxes. You are messing up your money. I had somebody I talked to from here that haven't filed taxes in 8 years, and that includes the last 2 stimulus checks. Who leaves money on the table? Not my followers. We get money over here, okay? So we filing taxes because you got money to recoup. Now, if you are not filing taxes because you think that you are going to owe, or you owe and you don't want to find out that you owe anymore, well, that's stupid too, because there are programs. Now, the best program out there is bankruptcy, okay? In my opinion, if you can't pay the IRS, file on them, okay? But they got other programs, and we could get into that a little bit. But let me see what else y'all talking about. It says, it reported I made $70,000, but I never received a 1099, and transcript shows I got $70,000. So Nana, that's what I'm talking about. So if your transcript is showing an incorrect amount and you can prove that you made $14,000 versus $70,000, you need to print out your bank records to show that you got that money, which is considerably less. You need to go back to the company that said they paid you, and they need to change that 1099, and they also need to update it with the IRS, okay? Because the IRS is looking for taxes on $70,000, not $14,000, okay? And if you made $14,000, the standard deduction was for a single person was only $12,000 or something. So you would only be paying taxes on like $2,000 of your money, not all this extra money, okay? So if you need assistance, please send me a message. You can hit the link in the bio, okay? I'll get y'all together, okay? All right, it says DoorDash, Uber, Lyft. These require 1099 or 1099K. The DoorDash, Uber, and Lyft are going to send you 1099 NEC. NEC stands for non-employee compensation. Yeah, non-employee compensation. Because 1099, anyone who gets a 1099 is an entrepreneur, okay? You are not an employee. So I want y'all to know that you are not an employee of DoorDash, Uber, or Lyft. You are an independent contractor contracting with that company. So you are your own company, Miss Renee. So that's why I want you to have the write-offs, because the write-offs you can, and that's also called itemizing. You can do that with a 1099. That's what I need y'all to understand. A lot of people come from DoorDash, Uber, and Lyft, and y'all have no write-offs. Y'all using you got to get oil changes, tires. I mean, y'all pay. Most of y'all can't write off gas. Some of y'all can. If I'm not mistaken, some of y'all, if I'm not mistaken, it's Uber or Lyft. One of them, they already put the mileage on there. So your meals, okay? There are lots of things that y'all are not claiming. And if you don't believe me, just go and type Schedule C, the letter C, Schedule C form on Google. And in that form, it will show you everything that you can use as an expense. Everything. So when people say, girl, what can I use? I say, go get the Schedule C form. That's what your tax, when your taxes are done and they print them out, that Schedule C comes out and it shows a dollar amount in every area that you selected. So if you want to know what to write off, use the Schedule C form and you will know exactly what you need to, because a lot of y'all are going to be eating some taxes this year. Especially if y'all got y'all loans dismissed, that's going to be very expensive. Can y'all imagine $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 1099 you got to include? And please don't think you're not going to include it, because the IRS is going to know. Okay. All right. It says you're absolutely right about that. I have my people to wait until the 15th of February. I'm telling you, Gemini, some people be out there, they be rushing to go file taxes. Please do not rush to go out there and file your taxes and then find yourself butthurt later, because they are coming. Okay. And also anybody with children, I know y'all forget this every single year, but the PATH Act is real. You will not be receiving any money if you have a child until after February 15th. So if y'all watch it, please share the video, follow, all that good stuff. I see I got some new people on here, so please do. But I'm letting you know, February 15th, nobody's getting any money until after that anyway, okay? Hopefully some of y'all early filers will. Now, if you're a single person, you don't use Cash App, you don't have a business, you ain't sent no money through Zelle, PayPal, any of those things, or received any money from any of those things, you're fine. Go ahead on and file your taxes. You ain't got to wait. But a lot of y'all do. Almost everybody has Cash App. So I really would stressing for y'all to wait. Okay. It says the company never responded to my request. Okay. Well, when companies don't respond, there are a couple things that I do. Okay. And one of them is I like to call the attorney general. I like to make a complaint so that somebody can come down on the company and call the head person and see. But Nana, send me an email and we will find a way. Let me find out who this company is and see if I can get you who the CEO email and all that stuff is, because it's out there. Okay. All right. The information is out there. I'm going to get it. Okay. It says, will this be a good time to purchase a vehicle before the year is out for my business? Yes. Yes, it is a good time, and I'm glad you brought that up. I want y'all to know something right now. This was on Twitter today. Somebody came into a dealership with an 820 credit score, and y'all heard me, 820. They went to a bank and got financing from a bank, and they also got finance from Capital One. The bank came back with 8%, and Capital One came back with 10%, okay? So if you are getting rates like that, please do not buy a car, okay? And go to a credit union, first of all. That's the main thing. If you are buying a car, please go to a credit union, because you need to get the Navy Federal right now for brand new cars is 4%, 4.8, it's low. It's 4 something. Okay, so that's very low. I don't know anybody else that's competing with that, but please go to a credit union if you need to get a car. Second thing, if you do want to get a car, there is nothing wrong with getting a car. They're overpriced now due to inflation. Let's be real. If you're going to do it because you want to write it off on your taxes, here is the best answer I can tell you. If you are not making a whole lot of money and you don't usually owe, then it serves no purpose to use the Section 179 depreciation, because it's not refundable. Meaning, if you write off that you just spent $100,000 on a car for your business, all that is going to put a mark on your Schedule C that you paid $100,000 under the Section 179. It is not going to give you any money back because it's not refundable. like earned income tax credit. That's refundable. When you put it in the system, it does the math, and boom, now you're showing that you're going to get some money back. That's a refundable credit. Section 179 is not. I only recommend people do the 179 if you are a person and you make a lot of money and you owe a lot. It will definitely eat up your tax liability or your tax debt, but it will not give you any money back. So I can't answer that question for you. You would have to answer that question based off of your financial situation. Okay. Another thing, I know that we think that we shouldn't plan for taxes because we don't have businesses or we ain't rich like that. But everybody should plan for taxes. I'm especially talking to you 1099ers because y'all never pay taxes. And let me tell you what the IRS is looking at possibly doing. They are looking at making it mandatory that 1099 filers pay taxes quarterly. Now, you already are supposed to pay your taxes quarterly. Y'all don't even know that, okay? But this is a part of tax planning. So if you are a truck driver and you came to me and said, Shamika, I owe every year. How can I stop doing that? I'm going to tell you to bring me your last year's taxes. We're going to look at what your tax liability is, meaning how much did you owe? Then we're going to take that amount and we're going to divide it by 4 because there are 4 quarters that the IRS is expecting you to cut them a check for taxes. They do not want to wait until the end of the year, y'all. Y'all want y'all money. They want their money. Okay. So take that amount that you owe, divide it by 4, and whatever that is what you should be sending to the IRS every 3 months in a check, along with a coupon, so that they know it goes to your business. That coupon will have your information, your EIN. That is how you're supposed to pay your taxes. Now, a lot of people don't, but I would not be surprised if they don't start making this mandatory. Did y'all not see 87,000 people? Now, I know they're going to do this over 10 years, but 8,700 new employees brought on to the IRS, and they're not looking at rich people. I know that's what they're telling you, but I see who's getting letters in the mail. Y'all send me messages. Y'all send me the letters y'all receiving. So I know who is getting out of it, and it is not all the rich people. It is all of y'all, though. Okay, so we are going to have to start planning and preparing for every change. I know y'all don't care about this stuff, but you should, because now you're going to have to. Can I still file them? If you have not filed taxes, yes, you can. There is no cap on how back you can file. Even if you haven't filed for 20 years, the IRS will not turn down your tax paperwork, okay? I know people say you got 3 years, and that is true. You have 3 years before they close the filing period, meaning if you turn in taxes that are 5 years old and it shows that you're going to get a $2,000 refund, you're not going to get it. But they will count your taxes, but you just won't be paid. See, that's the difference between somebody who know what they talk about and somebody who know what they're talking about. So you do have 3 years to file, but it's actually 3 years before you cannot receive a payment from the IRS. Now, you can owe them. You can file 5 years, 10 years, and if you owe, they want their money. But if they owe you, after 3 years, they ain't paying it. Okay? So, yes, you can file. I would suggest you file. And if you haven't filed, and I'm talking to anybody who hasn't filed taxes in years, what I'm going to need you to do is go to that Social Security website, create you an account there too, and see if your years have been counted. Because one day you're going to want to retire. And I would hate to find that the years that you worked were not counted. Now the company closed or the people done died. You can't get in touch with nobody. These are the things we need to do to think ahead, because we missing out on money, and this is future money. May not be something you care about now, but you will. Okay. All right, let me see what else y'all got. It says, all right, we got the question about the car. Do you know how I can get a PIN for my child? Very easy. Go right to the IRS website, IP PIN. You can do it on your children. It's highly, look at that. God is good, Danielle, okay? I highly suggest parents, you do the IP PIN. You know why? Because I'm sick and tired of dealing with baby mamas and baby daddies, or the women who go and give their kid to somebody else to be claimed, and now you want your child back, but the person got in before you. So if you, and I'm talking to whoever I'm talking to, if you deal with an issue, and y'all share this because I know y'all know somebody, If you are dealing with an issue of somebody filing taxes before you, this is how you stop them, baby. Get that IP pin, because as soon as they go to file, them taxes going to say rejected. You are missing an IP pin. And an IP pin is instant. The only thing you have to wait for is the 6-digit code to come in the mail. But you can get that IP pin today. Okay? So if y'all are dealing with that, somebody claiming kids or somebody not, claiming the kids and it's not their year for, for us divorced parents, yeah, this is how you combat that. Going on to get that pin so you can stop that right away. Okay? It says, IRS kept my return because of the amount that was reported. How can I fix this? Okay, so if the IRS kept your return from the amount that was reported, the IRS should have sent you a letter. Let me tell y'all something that y'all do not know. If you get a letter from the IRS and you look in that top right-hand corner, if it says CP, that stands for computer program. They do not keep copies of those letters. So if you get any letter that says a C and a P in the right-hand corner at the top, you need to screenshot it or put it somewhere safe, because they will never reissue you another letter because they do not keep copies of CP letters. All right? That's just something that y'all didn't know, but I'm telling you. So they kept your return, but I know they sent you a letter. Now, if you call them, they're going to say, we can't send you another letter. So now what you're going to have to do is create that IRS account that I was telling you about. And you're going to need to print out what they have on you versus what you reported so that you can find the mistake. Now, again, if you can't do it, hit me up. I will help you out. That is what I do. But that is how you're going to be able to fix it. The IRS also says, and I'm going to get to y'all messages, that if your returns have not been processed from a previous year, you may expect a late tax return, or a tax refund. Okay, they had 3 things that they said that they wanted people to make sure that was done before filing, and that was make sure you had all your 1099s. Make sure that your tax returns were processed from previous years. And I forgot what the third one was, and I'll find it. But they had 3 things, and those things, they're asking you to make sure those things are done because they don't want anything to slow down your process of getting this check. Okay? It says, all right, another thing y'all need to know. If you are not itemizing, you cannot claim charity. Now, last year, we was giving $600 charitable contributions to almost everyone, because a lot of y'all do charity and don't even know it. A lot of y'all tied to y'all church and don't even, and don't claim it because, y'all don't feel like it should be claimed or whatever. But now the IRS is saying, none of that. Okay, $300 charitable contributions for a single individual, $600 for married, but you can't even do it if you are not itemizing. So if you don't itemize, you will not be able to claim charitable contributions. So that means anybody who gets a 1099, that means y'all are businesses. Technically, you will be able to do the charity because you'll be able to, you can itemize. Okay, if you don't itemize, then you're not gonna be able. It's not too much we can itemize on the Schedule A for us people that don't have businesses. There's not much you can write off anymore. You can't write off uniforms, and if you're not a teacher, you won't be able to do any of those things. Okay, so it says now that you're saying they kept my return. Yes, I know somebody else who they kept their return too, and they're keeping the return probably because it was a desk audit and they're reviewing. So if there's something wrong, you're probably going to have to submit it. And you may even have to go to the local IRS office so that you could get the exact answer of why they haven't given you your return. All right, let me see what else y'all saying. Okay. And again, y'all like and follow. I appreciate it. It says question. No question is silly, but will you receive credit for 5 kids, all under 11 or just 3? That is a very good question, Erica. There's 2. There is the child tax credit and earned income tax credit. Well, there's 3. There's child tax credit, earned income tax credit, and the dependent care credit. Child tax credit is unlimited. You can have 75 kids and you can claim all 75 for the child tax credit. The earned income tax credit is 3 kids only. And the child and dependent care credit is 2 Two. It's two. Okay. So if you have two or more, you can do the child independent care. Earned income tax credit is 3. Child tax credit is unlimited. So there's different amounts for the different types of credit. But those are the 3 credits that people with children will be able to receive, just like you have been receiving them before. That is why they're telling you that your tax refunds are going to be smaller this year, because the amounts of earned income tax credit, child tax credit, dependent care credit have gone back down to the amounts that they were in 2019. Okay, back in the Trump era. So there is no or is that Obama? I can't remember right now. But so there is no high amounts like it was with the CARES Act. Okay. It says what to do if parents is following a child that hasn't lived with her for 2.5 years. Not file them. To be quite honest with you, if a child is, if some it says what to do if a parent is following. Okay. I read your question wrong, Miss Crafty. This is another one I get all the time. So if somebody is claiming a child that hasn't lived with them for 2.5 years, first and foremost, for the parent that should be claiming it, put an IP pin on that child so that the other parent will not be able to claim. That will stop that right there. Okay. Now, if you want money back for the years that they should have been claiming the child, but the other parent did, you can report them to the IRS. The IRS does have identity theft form that you can fill out when you basically write what happened and you submit it. Now, the IRS will not give you any information about it once you mail it off, because it's concerning another person's social security number, which is the child, which is crazy because it's like, that's my child. But because it's another person, they're not going to tell you what's going to happen. You will just receive whatever correspondence you'll get in the mail, and that other person will receive whatever correspondence they're going to get in the mail. I personally think it's going to take a long time for you to get any money back if you choose to do that, but it don't hurt. Money coming is money coming. But I would do the IP pin to stop that. All right. Is the Experian thing legit? Hey, Mariah, you know what? People have been asking me that, and I hadn't had the chance to finish the video. So the Experian thing is legit. Okay. If y'all want to know what she's talking about the Experian class action lawsuit that just came out. But let me explain to y'all real fast. The Experian class action lawsuit is only for individuals that were affected by having an address that Experian listed as fraudulent. Okay. A lot of y'all may have not experienced that, or some of y'all don't even know if you were affected, because when you get denied for credit, it doesn't tell you why all the time. And it is definitely not going to say you were denied for credit because your address shows that you or someone lived at this address and has had fraudulent activity. Okay, so that's what that lawsuit is about. That class action lawsuit breaks you down into 2 classes, the money class and the policy class. So majority of people are going to get swooped over into the policy class, and they're not going to get any money back. And the rest are going to go in the money class, and they will get between $300 and $900. But you will have to show how Experian listing your address as fraudulent kept you from getting whatever credit you were trying to get. So that is why I'm not encouraging people. Now, y'all know I'm all about class action lawsuits, but I am not about the ones that you got to show all that proof, because they're going to make it so damn hard. It's like all they're going to give you is 2 free years of credit monitoring. Nobody don't want that. We got Credit Karma for that. Okay. And that's free. So, it's legit, but if you can't prove it, you ain't getting no money. So I hope I answered your question, Mariah. It says, was getting a refund, but IRS stated the taxes were filed too late. What's the limit? 3 years is the limit. If you file a tax return that is older than 3 years, they are not obligated to give you a refund anymore. The refund period is closed. But if you owe them, you still have to pay. What is the form called for a pen for a child? I would recommend you do it online. Please do not mail in any forms. Okay. But you can, it is an IP pen. Matter of fact, you can type that in Google. IRS IP pen application. It is a form, but I don't recommend you try to mail it because it is very late, unless they'll let you request it online. If they don't, then you're going to have to mail it or fax it. Get it there as soon as possible so that you can get this thing going. Okay. And if you don't have the number to IRS, I have a fax number for them. Okay. Just let me know and I'll send it. All right. Okay. Thank you. She is love says, tap the screen, everyone. Show her love. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am not too keen on exactly how all this stuff works. I just know that I love giving out this information because y'all gonna come back and ask me about it later. So I'm trying to get y'all prepared so you don't have to worry about this later. Okay. Diego says, go like and share my last video. Okay. Well, send the video. Okay. All right. Let me see what else I got. How does the solar panels incentive works for the IRS? That is an energy credit. Okay. So I want y'all to understand when they start telling y'all about all these credits that you can get if you buy this, if you do that, the first thing y'all need to be asking yourself, is it refundable? Meaning, am I going to get any money back? So that solar energy credit don't give you no money back. It just lowers your tax liability. The only problem I have with the energy credit is that you have to take it over a certain amount of time. And a lot of people don't keep that information to do it. Like there's a cap. It's kind of difficult to show you because I'm not actually looking in your taxes. It's better for me to be able to explain it once we print out your return. I'm definitely not telling you not to. If you need a new solar thing, you need solar panels, you need water heaters, definitely get those things because our country is going that way, okay? We are soon, talking about moving away from gas and all of that. So nothing that you can buy in preparation for the future is bad, but please do not expect a large refund because it's not happening. Just like when y'all have all those medical bills and you come in and you bring all your medical bills and go, I spent $5,000 paying for medical bills. Well, it doesn't matter if it's not a certain percentage of your income. That's what y'all seem to miss. The IRS, they know all these. They know all this stuff, but they know you don't know. And the reason why a lot of you aren't getting money back from spending money when you do throughout the year is because your income has to meet a certain amount. Not your income. Your income is a certain amount, but the credit, in order for you to get it, it has to be a certain percentage of the income you made in order for it to give you anything, if that makes any sense. Okay. That is why a lot of people say they get mad when they come into the office and it's like, damn, I spent all this on medical bills. Yes. But if you only get Social Security as your income, you don't meet that income requirement. So a lot of people aren't going to see. So before you go out and spend all those things, please make sure your income is where it needs to be so that you can see the credit. That's, again, what I talk about when I say tax planning. These are things that are important to know. All right. Is there a tax on the housing assistance programs if receive funding? No. If you got any money for housing assistance, it is a grant. So no, you do not have to do that. Okay, Janae, we got Credit Karma. We don't need no 2 years of free credit monitoring. That's all they do anyway is give us stuff. It says, when is TurboTax giving people the money? Now, TurboTax is supposed to have been done cut these checks. I have not seen anybody get any. And if y'all know, I keep my informed delivery. So I see my mail before it hits my mailbox every day. And I have not. The only thing, no, I haven't seen any. They don't give a date. When you do the class actions, you just wait for the check to come in. That is what's so great about a class action, because it just be right on time. Okay, that's just God right there. So I encourage y'all to go to classaction.org. Okay, classaction.org. That's my favorite one. I like them better than top class actions. And they have a section on there where you can select class actions that do not require proof. Okay, now I'm not telling y'all to do it, but all I'm gonna say is it's a blessing in that group. Okay, now you could take all the blessings, or you could take some of the blessings, or you could take none of them. It's completely up to you. Okay. All right. It says, so are they starting the child tax credit again? No, there's not going to be any monthly checks, but child tax credit has never went away. Child tax credit is something they've been giving and they're going to continue to give, but it is smaller now. And no, you're not going to get the advance anymore. That's over. It says, yes, had that help, free credit monitoring for a security breach. Yes, that's what they always do. They always want to throw credit monitoring, but they can't even keep your stuff safe. So I'm over it. Okay. How can Cash App affect your taxes? If you have received more than $600 from Cash App, from your customers through Cash App, if it's $601, you are going to receive a 1099 and you will have to add that onto your taxes like income. So if you got $1,000 in Cash App transactions, you're going to get a 1099 from Cash App. And you have to take that $1,000 that they gave you and put that on your taxes as money. And they're going to tax you on it. So that's how it's going to affect your taxes. Yes, Nana, what you Google, okay? I hope you, the application, I hope you found it. It says, yes, please send the fax number. The site for the pen is down. You see how they do? Danielle, do y'all see how they play? Do y'all see how they play with y'all? I'm sorry, I get excited about this stuff because they think we stupid. Now they know people need to block up their information, but now the site is not open until the tax season opens. How convenient is that? That I'm telling you, I am never surprised at how the government works, okay? And let me tell you, people think it's broken. It ain't broken. They know exactly what they're doing, okay? So since y'all can't do it online now, you're going to have to do the form. If you need the phone number, it's in my phone. I actually have to get it. Please just send me a message. I will send it to you. I will send you the 800 number so you can fax it because ain't nobody got time to be waiting on the mail. They probably going to say the damn fax machine is down until January. I am just over them, okay? It says, I'm not a business owner but use Cash App and over $600. Will I have to pay taxes on it? So I'm going to tell you that you may receive a 1099. And the reason I'm telling you that you may receive is because we know that systems are broke. It may generate you one and it send it to you by mistake. Now, if you are issued a 1099 and you disagree, Sasha, then you can let them know that it's wrong. Okay. But if they send you one, they are expecting you to add it onto your taxes. So if you get a 1099, it is expected that you add it. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, you will have to pay taxes if you get a 1099. It's just as simple as that. Now, if they're wrong, you can fix it. But again, whatever they update, they need to update the IRS too, because the IRS is going to say, well, why Sasha ain't turned in this $700 she got from Cash App? Okay, so make sure it matches. All right, but yes, y'all, people keep talking about, no, it's just business accounts. If that may be true, but we don't know how many people with personal accounts are going to receive these, whether it's by mistake or not. You may receive it. And one thing I know from as long as I've been doing what I'm doing with y'all right now, they never put all the information out in the news. And they do that because they don't want y'all to run amok and get mad and go crazy and become anarchists. They don't want that. So they only put out a little bit. And just a little bit more, and then just a little bit. And then you got to have people like me tie it all together and then bring it to you, okay? So I'm going to tell everybody to expect a 1099, whether you get one or not. I'd rather you expect one and wait to file your taxes than rush out there to file and find out later that you owe money, okay? It says if you file a child from birth and don't have that child anymore because someone filed that child, yes, whoever the child is living with. The IRS says if the person is been with you for greater than 6 months, then whoever that child has been living with is who should be claiming that child. And it would make sense. They're paying the money for the child. They should get the money back. So if now, do people do the opposite? Yes. Do people lie and say this child lived with me? Of course they do. Do people be married and live in a house together and say married filing separate and one person file head of household? Of course they do. I'm not telling you to do it, but people lie on taxes all the damn time. Now, and if you're going to lie, that's your business. But you need to learn to lie better because that's why some of y'all are messing up. And let me add this before I continue on. If you have any child that's in school and you are married, please make sure you are filing married because the schools are checking. And if it says that you're married and you've been filing separate, you are going to mess up that child's financial aid. I have done so many amendments for parents who thought they were getting over because they tax preparer didn't tell them. I'm telling you, okay? Do not file separate if you're married and you have children in school receiving financial aid or student loan because they will not give them any money until those taxes are correct. Okay? Now, let me see. All right, now this is very bad. What do you think is the appropriate amount to be charged for someone to do your taxes? I think that all depends. Me, I charge $300, but that's just me. Some people tell me that I'm too cheap. But that's just me. But I do have people, and I'm gonna say this. I do a tax class. So if y'all want to start your own tax business, or you just want to learn how to do your own taxes, I offer that. Okay, but especially for my people that want to start their own tax business. Okay, some of the girls that do their tax business, they charge more than me, and I'm teaching them. Okay, but it's up to each individual on. All I would say is, if it don't feel right to you, don't pay it. Okay. Find out how much they charged before. I charge married people $500, and I do $300 for single people. That's just what I charge. Some people think that's a little. Some people think that's a lot. I think it all depends. Hey, Elizabeth. This is my daughter profile. Hey, girl. I'm so glad you're here. You know I'll be looking for you every week. How about using the wrong filing status for years? Oh, people use the wrong filing status for a lot. What I don't want y'all to do is to continue to use the wrong filing status, because the IRS looks at that as you're cheating them. And you're actually not. You're cheating yourself. If you are married and you filing single, and one person files head of household, why? One thing, you're cheating the IRS because your standard deductions are higher than they should be. Okay, a standard deduction for a head of household is $18,000, and it's 12 something for married filing single. So if you add that together, you're paying. The IRS is saying, damn, we're taxing you on less money than we should because you filed with the wrong filing status. So if you married, file together. What y'all don't understand is when you married and y'all file apart, y'all don't even get all the credits that you're supposed to get. So you actually screw yourself. And if you don't believe me, I do this for my married people all the time. I say, let me file your taxes separate, and then let me file your taxes together, and then let's talk. You miss out on so much when you try to cheat the system that was designed to help married people. Okay, marriage is a business in the government eyes. In God's eyes, it's something different. But don't cheat yourself when you're married. Please do it to file together. What about the chemical relaxers lawsuits? I did not see anything about a chemical relaxer. They probably do, but go to classaction.org, Aquarius. I might make a new video to see what else is out there. You're very welcome, Ronnie Precious. It's classaction.org. That is where I go to for all my class action lawsuits, the best ones. All right? I'm not telling y'all to do it. Y'all do whatever you want to do with them, but I'm just telling you it is a blessing in that group. Okay? You choose your blessing. It says, I miss it. Oh, my God. What did I miss from the best life teacher in the world? Hey, K Goody. We're just talking about taxes. That is all we're talking about. If you got any question, please ask. Let me see what else you're saying. So comments live. Oh, God. They ain't got to filter these comments. I can take it. All right. I think that's great. It says, I'm late, but when is the first day? They have not put out the first day for taxes yet. They don't tell until January. Anything new for the tax year coming? Yes, we've been talking about taxes all day. 1099Cs, 1099Ks. That's my biggest thing that I'm concerned with for you guys. Please don't file in a rush. Please wait. Okay. And if you know you take a long time to file, please at least file an extension so you have until October. Okay. Hello, just coming in. What they have a small business thinks in advance. The only thing that small businesses have right now, the SBA is giving, if you were affected by any of the hurricanes and you got any money from SBA, they're doing the 0% on those. They're doing 0%. Hold on. They're doing, if you have your SBA EIDL loans, then you guys know your loans will put on deferment for 12 months. I would say if you got an EIDL loan, this is the time now, especially if you got the money to make those payments so that you can make your principal go down, because the interest does not accrue until after the 12 months. So if you wait, then you have interest charged on a much higher amount. Whereas if you pay some of it down, get that principal down, it's less. Okay. Now you figure it out how you want to, but remember, we play the long game. We don't play just to get by from pillar to post from week to week. We think long game. Okay. And I want you guys to have more of your money. So if you can spare to put a couple dollars down, do it and save yourself some interest. Do I have to pay taxes on my daughter car note through Zelle? No, but that does not mean that Zelle won't send your daughter a 1099. If you send your daughter money for her to pay her car note and you send the money through Zelle, your daughter may end up with a 1099, because you may not know, they may not know where the money, what the money was for. Now, Zelle said that they are not issuing 1099s, okay? But that does not mean they are not issuing it to the IRS. They are not sending you or your daughter a 1099, but they are sending it to the IRS. So please create that account, y'all. I cannot stress it enough. I cannot stress it enough. Create your account on IRS. Just go sign up. It's free. Okay, we like free. You know, that's my favorite word. Sign up and monitor that, because that's where your information. Okay, the IRS could do our taxes for free. You know why they don't do it? Because they want to see if you gonna tell the truth. They know how much money you're gonna make. They know how much taxes you should pay. That's why they can send you a letter and say you didn't pay enough, because they already have a record of it. So they want you to be honest. All right, they're giving you enough rope to hang yourself. That's exactly what the government does. Okay, they do. They know people out here wilding. They know it. They just want to see if you're gonna get caught. And a lot of people getting caught with IRS, and they're gonna get caught, especially if you consider to be low income. Y'all, they're gonna get caught, because that's who they're gonna get this $180 billion or whatever they're saying is missing. Okay, that they lost from PPP and that they lost from the SBA. They're going to get it off of the backs of the same people who had to scam and fraud to get the money. Stupid. All right. It says, what if one spouse hasn't filed for decades, but the other spouse has filed head of household every year? Stop doing it, first of all. Okay? Straight up. I would tell you to stop doing it. Now, you probably ain't going to like this answer. But if one spouse owes money, the spouse that owes, depending on if y'all own anything, bankruptcy is always an option. One spouse can file bankruptcy and not affect the other spouse. I know I'm telling you something y'all haven't heard, because I know somebody look at that. God sends messages, okay? But you do not have to file together if you are married, if you're doing bankruptcy, okay? So that could be one way to wipe out that debt. Now, if you want to do the right thing, what you're supposed to do is go back and change all of those years that you filed head of household to married, because that's the correct thing. Now, a lot of people ain't going to do that, because that means you're going to owe money. Now, so if you don't want to do that, then file correctly from here on out, but you need to tackle the problem with your spouse first, because all they're going to do is snatch your return. Unless, and let me say this, you can do an injured spouse form, where you can submit it with your taxes. So QD Cody, if you need any help, I can help you. There's a injured spouse form. You submit it electronically along with your taxes. When you file with your spouse, when you submit it, the IRS is going to see that, oh, this person owes us money, but the other spouse said that they don't want it to be taken because it affects, they don't want their portion of the return to be taken. So you can still get your portion of the return plus the earned income credit, all that stuff for you. And they only take your husband's portion. Okay. I know that sounds crazy, but they do have a way you can separate the money. And it is done easier if you do it all at one time electronically versus mailing it and doing it later. So do it electronically. Okay. If you get any money, FEMA hasn't done anything. A matter of fact, FEMA's backlogged, and I would tell everybody, if you're waiting on FEMA, to call to see what the status of your application. But if they give you any money, no, you don't have to pay for that either. Okay, that is that's money that your state is covering, so you don't have to worry about that. It says both of my child are minors, but they work for me too. Can I carry them as dependents and employees? Yes, you can. If you have children that work for you, you can claim, you can lower your income by paying your children. So say I made $50,000 and my kids made $10,000. Well, now I am only working off of the $40,000, right? The kids barely pay anything. They're not even going to pay any taxes. To me, hiring your kids is the best thing ever. Okay, and let me let y'all know, if you hire your kids, you can hire them at any age. You can hire a baby. Okay, a baby can have a job. Why? Because the baby might be your model. That's what Gerber does. Okay, so if you got kids and you have a business and you are not employing them, you are wrong. Okay, and the same thing with your family members. Claim them, pay them as employees so that you can lower the amount that your business makes. Okay, it helps. So yes, do them as dependents, and yes, you can also do them as employees. How soon should we receive a 1099 from Zelle or Cash App? Remember, Zelle is saying they're not going to send you a 1099. They have until January 31st to send out all tax documents. Everybody has until January 31st. W-2s, 1099s, retirement statements, annuities, stock, all of that. January 31st is the last date. That's why I don't know why people rush out and file their taxes so damn fast, because you haven't even gotten all your documents. Okay. Thank you, Zelle too. That's right, free. Okay, can I file my teenager's taxes? Not sure how to go. Let me see how to go. Yes. First of all, man, y'all be leaving so much money on the table with these kids. This is the rule. Kids can file taxes at any age as long as they have paid taxes to the I, R, and the S. All right. So if your child is in college, okay, most of y'all have them as a dependent. That's great. But if your child also worked at the grocery store and they paid taxes, guess what? They can be a dependent and they can be independent and file taxes on their own, as well as you filing them as a dependent. Yes, there is a box you have to check when you're doing your taxes, or your tax preparer should you make sure you let them know. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, this is the trick. If your kids are going to file taxes and you're claiming as a dependent, you need to tell the tax preparer so that they can check a box that says this child can be claimed as a dependent on someone else's taxes. All right. So when your child goes to file, you check that box. Why? Because you don't want your child receiving credits that you should get. If you don't check that box, your child gets a large refund. And a lot of y'all don't want y'all kids to get that money because y'all know they're going to blow it. But if you file and that box is checked, you get the credits. Y'all don't understand how the system works in the back, but it does. So when you e-file it, it's going to say, we've seen this social security number twice, but the person checked the box saying that this person can't claim, that they can also be claimed on somebody else. So that's how it knows what to give you. Okay. So yes, do both. Let's see. You answered my question. Does the IRS care about how long? Okay, good. I'm glad I answered. Thank you. Even if the spouse is low income, it don't matter. It doesn't matter the income of the spouse at all. Just do the injured spouse form so you can let them know not to take the money. If they're low income, there are programs. Okay, you could do bankruptcy. You could do they like to call it what do they call it? Fresh Start. But the Fresh Start is just a fancy name for other programs. But they have, matter of fact, check out my YouTube, Cutie Cody. If you actually send me a email, shamikasaves@gmail, I will send you my YouTube video that I did telling y'all of the different programs that the IRS has, because a lot of people are just running from filing taxes because y'all owe, and it's like, man, they got so many programs. You can do an offer and compromise. You could do a financial hardship where you don't have to pay anything. You could file bankruptcy. You could set up payment. I mean, they got a lot of stuff. Okay, they need the money. All right, so believe me, they're not turning y'all away. Let me see. Are we missing more money filing separately versus married if he always owes and I'm a business sole prop? Let's see. Okay, so you're a business sole proprietor. That means you're a fictitious name, which means you could do 1099. And it says, yes. So I always say married people miss out on money when they file separate. The only thing that determines the difference is, again, I like to say, let me see your last year's taxes. Let's see. Now, legally, or not legally, so ethically, the IRS says if you're married, you need to file married. So you should. But if you're asking me from a financial standpoint, that has nothing to do with the IRS. I would say I would have to look at your taxes. But I always encourage married people to file married because it gives you better tax benefits to file married versus separate. Now, here is something that you could think about doing, Miss Kasha. If your business is doing good and standing on its own, meaning you're left in the green at the end of the year, you may want to upgrade your sole proprietorship to an LLC or a corporation and start filing your business taxes separately. Because if you got your husband, and your business, y'all could be taxed through the roof because you're making too much money. So you have to decide that, or me and you, however you want to do it. We decide that by looking at your income. That's what I care about, okay? We still not doing anything illegal. You and your husband still file together as married, but you can file separate. Businesses should stand on their own at some point. I'm getting tired of everybody putting their business on their personal taxes. Why? Let your business stand on its own. File on your own. Now, if you're an Uber driver, stuff like that, you're probably not making a whole heck of a lot of money. But if you got a business, you got an office, you doing things, you probably should look at possibly filing your business taxes separate, okay? Just so your EIN can show something under it on its own versus always being on your personal. All right, it said even with the student loan. Okay, let me see what y'all saying. Anything before I go. Hi, if you receive child support on Zelle. If you receive Zelle's not going to send you a 1099. But if you receive child support on Zelle, you better believe Zelle is telling the IRS. Hopefully, the person did not type child support. Well, hopefully they did type child support. Because if they type child support, then that would not be considered taxable income. So the only thing that you can hope is if they send it Zelle, child support through Zelle, that they also title child support so that you have proof that that income should not be counted. That is why I'm telling y'all it's going to be a shit show in tax season next year, because we don't know what's going to happen. They say a lot of stuff, but that doesn't mean that's what happens for real. And it doesn't always, okay? It says, hello, love, I'm new, but thank you for helping people with this very important information. You are very welcome. I love what I do. Thank you. All right, y'all. So I'm in Florida, Miss Cutie Coded, but let me tell you, taxes are federal. So I can do it in any state. I have clients y'all are my clients. A lot of y'all are my clients. I do y'all taxes. We have never even met. But because y'all know I'm going to explain it to you the same way I'm doing it now. And when I teach this same way. That's why y'all come to me, because this is why we middle class and lower class get screwed, and the rich is over there having a good time laughing at us because we don't do this type of stuff. We're not talking about how can we make better decisions so that we can make better tax decisions. It says, if my child is 18 but graduates high school in 523, will I be able to file as a dependent? You can file up until if your child graduates high school, if your child's 18, you can file your child as a dependent if you want to. But you will not get any earned income tax credit because that child is too old, and you're not going to get any child independent care because they're too old. So if your child has their own job, I would claim them as a dependent, and I would let them also file their own taxes because they live in your house. But you're definitely not going to get a lot of money when they turn that age. Unfortunately, over 17, the IRS goes, you're over 16 in most cases. You're on your own, okay? So I would do both, Adrian. Do you do Florida taxes? I do state. Florida doesn't have taxes. I do your sales tax filing. A lot of people ain't doing their sales tax. I do your sales tax filing for you. Yes, I do. And I do your federal taxes, okay? Not every state has state taxes, but state taxes are done automatically in the system anyway. My email for you guys, you can hit the link in the bio if you want to do the consultation or anything like that. But my email is shamikasaves at Gmail. My Yahoo is Shamika, not Yahoo. My YouTube is also Shamika Saves. So y'all make sure y'all go there because that's all my videos are about, giving y'all information. And last but not least, and I'm going to let y'all know. Oh, it says how much refund for 2 kids young. Julius, just so y'all know, when y'all see those signs on by the side of the road saying that 2 kids, 10,000, 3 kids, 12,000, the IRS has already done told y'all in the publication book on the back page, it will tell you, and I already posted it. If y'all follow me on Facebook, y'all will see. It is $6,700 for 3 or more kids. So at 2 kids, you're looking at $4,000 some odd dollars for earned income credit. And you got to count the child tax credit. It's going to be $2,000. And then if you do child independent care. So at 2 kids, you might be looking at, outside of your tax refund, you might be looking at anywhere between $4,500. I say $4,500 to $6,000 for just the 2, not including whatever your other income is, or if you owe. How do I become a student and a client? Send me an email. Actually, if you hit the link in the bio, I actually have it on in my website on the link in my bio, or you can send me an email. So y'all, if y'all got questions, a lot of y'all are going to be starting y'all tax business next year. And I'm very happy for a lot of y'all because, one, I tutor y'all. I also have, if y'all choose, I could go in and actually access your system, so I can go over your taxes with, with whatever you're stuck on. And I set your banks up so you can get your refund, your cash advances and all of that. And we talk every Sunday as a group. Me and all the students, we're on Zoom every Sunday going over everything, because during tax season, a lot of things are going to change. So that's why I like y'all to watch me here on Mondays, because I keep you up with the update. All right. So send me an email and I'll hook you up. Okay, what if the kid is 18 and special needs? If the kid is 18 and special needs, hopefully they get a Social Security check or disability check. You can still claim anyone that's disabled. You can claim them for life. Okay, if anybody. So I tell y'all that, and this is a little trick I like to tell folks, and then I'm gonna let y'all go for real. Okay, if you have somebody, like I have a lot of people that go, man, I owe too much money in taxes, and I'm like, oh, okay. Do you have any dependents? And they like, nah, and I'm like, is anybody in your family disabled? You got a grandma? You got anybody? And they like, oh yeah, my so-and-so. And I'm like, well, if they don't get a retirement check and they just get Social Security, you don't put them as your dependent, so that you can help lower, so it can put you in the head of household tax bracket to be able to make you pay less. Now, I'm not saying that's what everybody should do, but there are a lot of y'all that have people that are disabled. Y'all not even claiming that y'all should, and y'all need them for dependency reasons. Okay? All right. What else? Because I'm from South Florida. What about if you received a lawsuit this year? Is it considered anything? If you received a lawsuit, you will not have to. You won't receive anything on that. They have different rules for stuff like that. That's not going to be accounted. So if you received a lawsuit, kudos to you. Spend it wisely. Thank you, Teresa Harris. Please email me. All right, and it says, thanks. My tax preparer used to tell me $1,500 for each kid. Right. It's about that much. If you go and you look, the amounts are about $2,000. So she's right. People always get it messed up, and they keep thinking like, oh, I got 3 kids, I'm gonna get $12,000. No, you're not. They lying. That's just the marketing. The IRS gives you half that. You're only gonna get about $2,500 per child. Okay, and that's with all the credits. This is not that much. Let me see if y'all got anything else. So I think I gave y'all everything. So just as to wrap this up, please file taxes later next year. Please do not rush out and do it. Create you an account at the IRS website so that you can see what is being sent about you. Please also go to the Social Security website. If you are one of my followers that do not file taxes, you are not consistent, go to Social Security website so that you can see if those years have been counted. You need to verify that what they have on you is what you actually got paid, because it affects your check. Okay. No charitable contributions if you do not itemize. So if you are not itemizing things, miles, meals, hotels, whatever, you will not be able to do the charity. A lot of y'all don't really care. It only give you like $300 only give you $50 back. So it's really not that much either way. And please know that child tax credit, earned income tax credit, and the dependent care credit are lower. So you will see a smaller refund than last year. Okay. And last but not least, please, I always say please because I try to be nice. 1099Ks and 1099Cs, be on the lookout for them coming in the mail, because they are going to come, except from Zelle. They are not going to send them, but they will send it to the IRS. Okay. Email shamikasaves@gmail.com. Do they have the same address? IRS? Yes. Okay, good. Thank you, Sky Blue. I'm going to go to, if you got an inheritance, it depends. It depends on how they send it to you. If you got an inheritance that was paid, now, if you got an inheritance from an insurance company, insurance is tax-free, which is why Black folks and brown folks, and mostly everybody that's low income, but mostly the black and brown people, because we don't know about this, but life insurance is the best wealth transfer ever. So if you got paid through a life insurance, you don't pay any taxes on that money. Okay, that's the best way to send money when you die to the next generation, and make sure that they're rich and wealthy. Okay, by sending or giving them money like that through a lawsuit. If you got paid from any other way, they may send you something. I have seen people come in and say, I got an inheritance, and they got to pay taxes on it. It has everything to do with how the money was paid to you or who it came from. Okay. Can you file taxes if you're on disability? People who are on disability absolutely can file taxes. Yes, it is. The IRS likes you to do it for checks and balances. That is all. You will not get a refund in most cases because a lot of you don't pay taxes out of your disability. But the IRS will have you mail in them 2 pages, your 2 pages of your 1040, and send it in. And all they do is just put it with your under your social. That's it. So yes, I think everyone should file taxes, just because how many of y'all are letting your social security number sit dormant and y'all are not filing? That is how you become a victim of identity theft, because you not even checking your social once a year to even file taxes, but somebody else is filing taxes in your name and under your social. I've seen it happen. So absolutely, lottie-dottie, everybody should file their taxes, because you just need to know if somebody's stealing your identity. Ain't that a shame? But that's what we got to do. Hey, Golden Chanel, it says someone over 41, can you file taxes for them? You can file taxes for anyone if they give you the permission to. Yes, you can file taxes for anyone. Retired, receiving Social Security, and live with my son. Can he claim me? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. If he is living with you or you living with him, y'all meet the dependency requirements, and yes, he can claim you. And I absolutely think that he should. It would be crazy for him not to. It helps him to have that extra person. It boosts him from a single person to head of household, which means a difference of $6,000 that the IRS won't tax him on. So absolutely. What about arrearage in child support? If you are behind in child support, please expect that they are going to take it. Now, I'm not going to put the number up until January, but I will be talking about that Treasury offset hotline in January. Everybody needs to call, because you guys will be surprised to find out if you owe and you didn't think that you did. So they will open up that line in January, and you will be able to put your social in, and it will let you know if you owe. All right. So ladies, y'all can do that with y'all baby daddies if y'all know they social. Okay. So I'm just saying that. So if you got arrearage in child support, it'll come up on that top hotline, and that will let you know that they're going to take your taxes. That don't mean don't file. That just means they're going to take it. Okay. You got to pay to play. What about when someone dies and you get paid from the policy? When somebody dies and you get paid from the policy, that is tax free. Any money from life insurance is tax free. You do not have to claim it at all. Now, thank you, Felicia, for asking that though. If somebody died, please don't not file their taxes. File them. They need to get their refund. And if somebody died and you want to get the refund, please make sure you're either a spouse or a child of the person that is deceased, because the IRS will not issue the money to anybody else. If they don't have a will, then you would have to go to the court to get the court to send you a paper saying that you're the executor so that you can get their refund. I know lots of people, they get large checks. Their parents died and now they can't get that money. So if somebody died, please make sure you do go and get it. You can collect somebody else's refund in the event that they die. I get disability and use Cash App. It's over $600 a lot. Will it hurt me? I let them take taxes out. I'm actually glad, Sasha, that you said that. I'm glad that you let them take taxes out of your disability, because that's what's going to help you. If somebody's on disability and they use Cash App a lot to receive payments, say you do hair, you cook food, you make plates in your house, that will absolutely hurt you. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not trying to tell anybody how to do anything that's not right. But I'm going to say this. Ma'am, Sasha, if you are on disability, you need to be using somebody else's Cash App, boo. Okay? I'm just telling you, you need to use somebody else's Cash App, because you now know that that money that you made from Cash App is now going to be reported to the IRS. And you think the IRS and Social Security don't talk? Man, they like this. Okay? So you don't want them reporting the income that you're making. Now, if you get Social Security disability, you can't make over like $1,100 a month. So I don't know how much you make from your Cash App, but if you're making over $1,100, you're going to have a problem. So I would suggest you get a Cash App in somebody else's name, and then you just tell them that you're going to pay the taxes on the money. Okay? A lot of people need the extra income. It helps them because they need it for Social Security. You already getting Social Security, so it ain't going to hurt you. It will help the next person. Now who I just dropped that gem on? Oh, I'm sorry. I just love me sometimes, okay? Now, I know I just said something that was mind-blowing. Y'all gonna help somebody else out by using their Cash App. Look at how God bless. All right. Tanisha, you didn't miss anything. You didn't, I promise. Let's see. Lady, that again, son and more. I don't know what you're saying, Scott Blue. I apologize. Okay, what number this is, Big Reg? Is that the IRS number? Oh, that's the offset hotline. Thank you. I don't know that it's updated for 2023 yet. That's why I'm not telling anybody to call right now. If you get a settlement from a lawsuit, it depends on what it was for. Most time when you get a lawsuit, you already pay your taxes out of the money. But if it's personal injury, you're not going to pay anything. I would not expect for you guys to receive any 1099s for any type of settlements. The only thing you should receive that for is if you got something that was written off. You got a credit card that you settled the payment, and say you owed $1,000, but you settled for $300. They're going to send you a 1099-C for $700. If you got your student loans dismissed, they're going to send you a 1099-C for that amount of loans being discharged or canceled. And you get a 1099-K if you receive money from a third party, Cash App, PayPal, stuff like that. There are other 1099s, but a lot of y'all already got those. Y'all already get the 1099 INTs from your banks. There are a lot, but it just depends on your tax situation. Okay, thanks. And my sister's husband, so I'll let them know. Let them know, Felicia. Can you collect their refund and their stimulus that they did not receive? Yes, you can, but they only give you so much time. Remember, you only got 3 years before that collection period is cut off. Okay. And if you're going to collect somebody's refund or stimulus that they did not receive and they're deceased, you need to, well, first of all, the stimulus, they're not going to give it to you because they're deceased. If they were alive when the stimulus was issued and they didn't collect it, you can get it. If they died, after and they never filed, they're not going to get it. They have to have been alive when it was issued in order to get it. If they died after, they cannot get it. Whew, okay? So that's how that works. But you can collect their refund. It says, not if they don't make 70% of the side. What you talking about, Big Greg? Not if they don't make 70% of SSI. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. Type it again for me, homie, so I can understand what you're saying. Unless you're not talking to me. All right. So let me see if I see anything else. Okay, let me see. And y'all make sure y'all follow me if you haven't. I seen a post saying that if you work and get a W-2 and self-employed, just file your W-2, not your business. That is a damn lie. That's a lie. That's a lie, D's Custom. Lies. First, any amount of money you receive, the IRS wants you to file it. You know why? Because they want this. Now, what they could have meant was if you got a W-2 and you self-employed, you can file separately. Now, you can file your W-2 and your 1099 on your regular personal taxes, but you can file them separate. You can say, I want to just file my W-2 on my personal, and I want to file my business taxes separate. But if you are not if you're not incorporated, you're not an LLC or a corporation, there's no form for you to file. If you're just a sole proprietor, you just got a fictitious name, you have to file on your personal taxes. Do not listen to these people that tell y'all to not file taxes. They're going to get your ass in trouble, okay? And I have to say that because the IRS is hiring 8,700 people for the next 10 years to prove it to you. I don't have to prove it. They're going to prove it to you, okay? When these people start knocking at doors or you start getting more letters in the mail saying you ain't paying us enough, y'all going to say, Shamika said, I told y'all, okay? So please file both. Don't let nobody trick you out here and think that you're going to not be able to pay these people. The only thing you're going to do to not pay them is you're going to have to do write-offs, or you do what the rich people do. Defer. Rich people don't pay taxes. You know why? They wait until they die and they never pay. That is the goal. I hate to say it, but that's the goal. Your goal is to make Uncle Sam hold off as long as possible until you die, and then he can't get anything. That's exactly what the wealthy people do. They defer the debt. They don't pay it. That's why y'all gonna have to pay it. Okay? The issue is that if a son lives with a mother is getting Social Security and retirement. Each can claim both. The issue is that if a son lives with a mother is getting Social Security and retirement, each can claim both. Sky Blue, I'm not sure if you're asking me a question on that one, okay? I don't know what you're saying. And Crafty, you're saying they were alive. If they were alive, then yes, you can go back and claim to get the money. I never knew they forgave my ITT tech student loan. How does that work? ITT was right. Renee, that is what I'm waiting on too, because they are not talking about it at all. And I'm afraid that they're going to send a 1099-C, which is a cancellation of debt, because they are essentially canceling your loans. And if you get a cancellation of debt, you're supposed to receive a 1099-C. We don't know if they're going to issue it and they're going to tell y'all not to include it, or if they're going to issue it and tell y'all to include it. What I'm telling y'all to is to expect it, because it is coming, okay? So if your school was you got your loans discharged through Borrower's Defense or through any other student loan program, just expect. Now I'm going to tell you, I discharged my loans through a program. But mine was not, I discharged it through a program. They did not send me a 1099-C. They did not. That don't mean I didn't expect it. I was waiting because I wanted to see if they were going to give it to me or not. Okay. So I'm not saying that you will get it or that you even have to claim it. I just want you to expect to receive one, because they're not talking about it. And that is what I don't like, because the Borrower's Defense is a different program than these other programs that were already here. Borrower's Defense is fairly new. Okay. It's not even 5 years old. All right. I have not paid taxes in 3 years. I think the last person who did my taxes stole my refund. That's happening a whole lot. A lot of people steal y'all refunds because y'all don't stay up on it, and they be with the BS. So if they stole your refund, there's a form you can fill out to report the tax office, and you depending on if it's within the 3 years, you do have time to go back and see if they will give you your money, but it has to be within that 3 year. And Goldie, I don't know if you were talking to me or not. Let me know. I was wondering why they needed my social to order a new card. Okay, I'm telling y'all gotta watch it. That's smart. My Social Security on Cash App it. I'm telling you, do it in somebody else's name and give them the money, and just give them and let them pay. You just pay their taxes and it'll help. If you get lottery, yes, ma'am. Now y'all know if y'all get lottery, y'all gotta pay. But let me tell y'all the trick though. The only way to gamble and not have to pay is to play bingo. Okay? Let me tell y'all. Did y'all hear me, girl? Did you hear me? The only way you can play and gamble and not pay taxes is to play bingo. And you know why? Because bingo is a nonprofit. All places who have bingos are nonprofit. VFW, the veterans, this, and all of those places. If you win in a lottery, you win a scratch off, you go to casino, anywhere, and you win something, they are going to issue you a 1099. And if y'all ain't won nothing in the casino or the lottery, you'll see, because the state is happily going to send you a nice 1099 for you to go on and bring it into me, so we can go on and take that taxes out of the money, because you did not elect to pay taxes early. So if y'all want to make a little money, I'm giving y'all a little gem now. Now don't go pack out them bingo halls. But the bingo halls, you will not receive a 1099 on your earnings. Now it is up to a certain amount. I think it's like $5,000, but still, that's money you can earn. You ain't had to pay no taxes on. Okay, so don't tell me I ain't tell you nothing. Okay. How do you file your business taxes separately? If you have an LLC, you can do if you have an S corp, you can do an 1120S. If you have an LLC, you can do an 1120. No, let me take it back. I said that wrong. If you have an LLC, you can file it on your personal taxes. If you have an S corp, which is also an LLC, you can do that on an 1120S. If you have a corporation, you will file that on the 1120. If you are a partnership, you will do what is called a K-1 form. Okay, so there's tons of ways. Believe me, the IRS gonna got a form for you to, if it's about giving them some money, they're gonna create a form, and they got them. So if you are sole prop, you got a fictitious name, you don't have to do anything but file them on your regular taxes. But I encourage y'all to get them separate. Okay, it's good at some point, not always, but at some point you want to get them separate. Okay, if you have an LLC, yes, ma'am, you can file them on your personal taxes. But if you elected to have an S corporation, then you will need to do the 1120S. You can't do that. Everybody, I'm telling you, everybody need to be on this live, but they ain't trying. It's okay. God gonna let me blow up when it's my time, because this is what I love to do, is give y'all information, because y'all need it. This is why we be getting screwed, man. Hey, Kay Gooden. Okay, just wanted to repeat what you said earlier. What you wanted me to repeat, Sky? Okay, maybe I already did. By the way, what if you support a person in jail? Unfortunately, if you support somebody in jail, you cannot claim them as a dependent. Unfortunately, they do not allow you to do that. So there's really no way to do it, unless you lie and put them down as a business expense on your business. But that's just lying. So unfortunately, they don't give you anything for claiming somebody that's in jail. Okay, I think it's stupid, but they should. Let's see. I live with my son. He can claim me as a dependent on his tax. Yes, he can. If you live with a son, they can claim you as a dependent on your taxes. Yes, absolutely. Okay, Sky Blue, thank you. The student loan forgiveness update, there is no update other than y'all not getting anything from Joe Biden. And Joe Biden stated, the Department of Education stated that they gave y'all emails saying your loans were discharged, but they were not. It was an error. Okay, and I didn't see anybody get a new email saying that it was an error. So if you got that email, please call studentaid.gov just so that you can see if the email you got is legitimate. Okay, my one-on-ones, I do 30 minutes for $45. I do an hour for $75. And y'all see, I've been on here an hour and 36 minutes, and I don't have no problem talking. Plus your girl be bored. So book me so we can talk, so we can get through some of these issues and problems y'all have. Okay. Can I moderate? I have my own tax service. Yes, Big Greg, we should talk so we can do another one, so we can do next Monday together. Please send me an email. Let's do it together next Monday. That'll be so good, because people that are good with tax knowledge should be on here teaching people versus people that don't. It says I have Pokemon card links in the bio. Okay. And it says if a son lives with mother and mother is retired and gets Social Security, you're asking, can they be claimed on as a dependent? If the son lives with the mother and mother is retired and gets Social Security, if she gets Social Security, if she's not Sky Blue, send me an email, girl. I'm gonna call you, because you keep asking this question over and over, and I want to get it right. Send me your number. I'll call you. Okay. Yes, that's right. Y'all tap the stream, please, too. And share it. Can you still do taxes if you don't work and have two dependents? Yeah. Well, can you still do taxes if you didn't work? Well, yeah, you got kids. If you didn't work, your kids are still your money. So even if you don't work, you should still file taxes so you can get your refundable credits, which is your earned income credit, your child tax credit, and your dependent care credit. You don't have to work to file taxes. It's nice, but you got kids, file. Okay, you can do that with your children. You may have to, and we can talk about it, but you may have to put down self-employment and put $400 so that you show that you have some income, and then still file with your children. Okay, because it's hard to file taxes you didn't work, but in order to get the money, which is why you're filing, then what I would do is I would just put $400 down for self-employment. The taxes ain't gonna be nothing on $400, and then just file the kids so you can get the money. Okay, instead of selling them to somebody else. The IRS will be happy about that, because at least you are filing your kids and not somebody else lying to file them. Is it a good time to start a business or wait until next year? It's always great to start. It's always great to do everything before December 31st. If you start a business tomorrow, you'll have write-offs for at least 2 weeks. If you wait until January 1st, you can't claim your taxes for that business until the following tax year. So you want to do everything by December 31st. So if you want to do something, do it now. Okay, Nicola, any new information on the EIDL loans? The only thing with the EIDL loans is that they aren't on deferment. No payments due, but as I stated before, please make your payments if you can afford to make your payments, because the interest doesn't accrue until 12 months later. And what I don't want y'all to do is to have a higher payment because the interest don't accrue when you can pay the principal down now while everybody else is on deferment. You could be the smart one making your payments so it's lower, so that when the interest does hit, it's less than what you were going to pay originally. Okay? Can I claim my mom if she lives with me and she gets SSI and retirement? Yes, if your mom gets retirement, she will be filing on her own. But if she lives with you and she gets retirement and Social Security, you can claim her as a dependent. What needs to happen though, your mom has to put on her taxes that she will be claimed by somebody else. That's the only way you're going to do it, where you both can claim, where you both will be able to do two socials at once. Your mom's claiming herself and for you to claim her. So she has to make sure she puts it on her taxes that she can be claimed by somebody else as a dependent. So, but yes, you can. Okay. All right. So I think I got to the end. I think I was trying to get all y'all messages here so we could get this going. But how much for the tax teaching? So if you want to link of do an appointment, hit the link in the bio for consultations. Also for my tax class, it is, what is it, $5.99? But it's $5.99, but it includes the software, the bank setup. I do everything, and it includes all of us meeting, the teaching, everything. Okay. And I work it out with you if y'all don't have all the money right now, because I know a lot it's it's Christmas season, so I know how it is. But we can work it out. So but I always bring in 10 people with me every year, so we can get that bag. Why? Because people need their taxes done. They need it done right. But taxes is a great way to make it's very lucrative. And you only got to be knowledgeable about something for about 6 months out of the year. Then you can drop and forget everything and come back in December and relearn. To me, it's a great thing to do. Okay. If you want to do it. Okay. So, please find my YouTube channel. I go through all this kind of stuff. I'm big on the gray area. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in this world that they don't talk about, and they're not putting in the news, like how they're monitoring us, all these fraud schemes. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. So these are the things that I teach about. These are the things that are interesting to me, and I want y'all to know, because these are things that people not talking about. They keep it on the low. Okay, so I'm getting off because I've been on here a long ass time, almost 2 hours. I love doing what I do. If you cannot tell, I can get on the phone for another 2 hours. Okay, but I will go check my emails. If y'all got questions, I will help you. If you need your taxes done, I will help you. You want to get into this business, I'm going to help you. I don't know. We just going to unite, okay? And we're going to make some money together, and we're going to be smart, and we're going to be wise, and we're going to do what the rich folks do. And y'all going to learn that we're going to play the long game. We ain't sliding through no more. We're playing the long game, because we have to plan to make sure we have a successful future. Because if you don't plan, y'all know the rest. We plan to fail, okay? So y'all have a good one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hit me up, Greg.